All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about Genshin Impact again. So we've been following this whole nonsense about Genshin Impact and the boycott Hoyoverse thing that's happening right now that I genuinely believe is another attempt at a DEI consultancy firm trying to extort money out of a Chinese developer because they haven't been successful with any Chinese developer. But still, at the end of the day, I think it's something that should be studied because we see what happens when people who genuinely believe that their ideology should be considered the entire world's view, right? You ever met somebody like that who, when you sit down with them and you talk with them, they genuinely believe that their own ideology should be followed by the entire fucking world? Well, we're watching that play out with us in real time because apparently the boycotters have just recently celebrated the CEO's rental car getting broken into when he decided to visit their glorious shithole known as California. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, are any of you shocked at the fact that they decided to celebrate someone's car getting broken into when they visited California, when you know that most of these boycotters are probably from California or probably from somewhere like Cali, like New York City or something like that? You know what I mean? Like a woke hive mind fucking city. Yeah, that's not too shocking. So apparently they're celebrating the CEO's car getting broken into. There's pictures and there's everything, and we're going to get into it. So let's get into it, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Numerous Genshin Impact and Hoyoverse boycotters celebrated Hoyoverse's CEO Louis Wei, aka Dao Wei's car, getting broken into as he made a trip to California. Now, I think that this entire event is probably just going to add more ammunition to the fact that they're not going to bend the knee to these psychopaths, right? If you're going to celebrate somebody potentially getting hurt simply because you ideologically disagree with them, you're a psychopath. At the end of that, that's what you are. At the end of the day, you are an ideologically driven psychopath, and that's all that you'll ever be. According to a post on social media, Dao Wei's rental car's windows was smashed and a laptop from an individual traveling with him was stolen while he was visiting Sunnyvale, California. Now, if you look at these pictures, that's a pretty hard hit. They broke the entire rear window to try to steal whatever the hell it was in that car. If you look at this post, it says MiHoYo founder Dao Wei's car window smashed in the Bay Area. A fan encountered Dao Wei, who had arrived in Sunnyvale, and discovered that the window of Dao Wei's rental car had been smashed. Dao Wei was likely on a business trip to visit their development office in California, or visiting MiHoYo's partners in Silicon Valley. It's close to Apple and Nvidia. And in a quick update says it didn't seem like Dao Wei lost anything, but the laptop of someone with him was stolen. So, again, I don't know if this is a targeted attack. I don't know if this is one of the boycotters. Again, I highly doubt it. I think this is just somebody trying to take advantage of who they thought was a tourist, right? Which they obviously knew. I mean, it's pretty easy to tell, you know, usually these days, but they probably thought the guy was a tourist and was like, okay, let's break into this car and try to get a crime of opportunity. That's essentially what it looks like happened here. Now, again, it goes into the history of the boycott, which, by the way, this boycott has been a massive failure. I will reiterate that in every video. The company has been up 10% in revenue through and through. Zenless Zone Zero is literally carrying them to victory. And no matter what they do to try to boycott Genshin Impact, it's not going to matter. It'll never matter because ultimately they know who their fan base is, right? Genshin Impact had one of the most based responses to this kind of hate that I've ever seen. And I think that they go over it in this article here, where essentially they responded and said, just a reminder, Genshin Impact and anything Hoyoverse makes is fictional. So stop trying to look for anything real life related to this fictional creation that we have here. And that was one of the most base responses I've ever seen. But again, it's just a huge failure. So look at this. Let's talk about the actual people celebrating this. Genshin Impact and Hoyoverse boycotters responded to this news by not only celebrating it, but attempting to use it to get Hoyoverse to change the skin tone of its characters. One user wrote, "Can the robber make the characters get melanin?" You know what's so ironic about this? Imagine trying to use crime, right? Crime, thievery, and all that stuff to try to get a developer to add black characters, because that's essentially what they want. They want black characters. They want dark skin, black characters for whatever reason. They got to see themselves in Genshin Impact. They got to see themselves in a Chinese product, but they'll never visit China because, that's not going to end up very well. Then another poster said, "Crying, don't tell me somebody actually blackmailed him into giving the Natlin character some more melanin." Another wrote, "Damn, poor car. Another posted, I don't condone it, but like, owned. Change the skin tone, laughing my ass off, wrote another. Another user wrote, as long as it's not something that harms him and those directly around him, I approve it. We should make them know we are serious about the dark skin and boycott. Isn't that amazing? Like, so you're going to say that you're okay as long as no harms come to him or anybody around him. So again, like a typical lefty, you're perfectly fine with the destruction of property that you didn't earn, right? You're perfectly fine with destroying shit that you don't maintain, that you didn't pay for, that you didn't earn. You're perfectly fine with that because that's going to get your message across. That's what you really think people are going to, all of a sudden people are going to be like, you know what? I want to be a lefty now. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That makes no sense. And this is coming from someone who very clearly hasn't had a lot of shit that they personally paid for. If you're okay with destroying property, again, property, over the fact that there is no black characters in a Chinese video game, right? You're destroying real life property over the fact that there's no black characters in a Chinese video game. You're insane. There's no other way around it. You are literally an ideological psychopath by the definition. Another indicated that he deserved it because he's racist. Wow, of course. Of course he did. One person wrote, deserved pedo ass. Wow. So now we're just throwing the P word out there because, again, they don't realize that by constantly using certain buzzwords that those words lose all meaning. If you start calling everybody the P word, then that word is going to get completely and utterly like just destroyed. It's going to have no meaning behind it. Like that's a very strong word to call someone, and you're choosing to do it because you're an idiot. As can be seen by the reactions above, many of these individuals are more upset that Hoyoverse has created fictional worlds that do not cater to their woke ideology and left-wing political ideals, rather than the fact that the car was broken into and a crime was committed. In fact, many of them took the opportunity to defame him and approved of him being a victim of a crime. This is unlikely to sway Hoyoverse to accept their demands or even acknowledge the boycott to begin with. Hoyoverse previously responded to one person lodging a complaint about his characters by reminding them that the world of Teyvat, where Genshin Impact primarily takes place, is fictional. Now, it goes over this. This is a response I was telling you about. It is an amazing response, and like the article said, what is the chances that Hoyoverse is going to be like, oh, okay, they broke into our rental car in California. Gee, we need to add some black characters ASAP. God forbid they break into another rental car in Cali because, you know, we're going to be there every single day. Like, are you kidding me right now? The guy's going to go back to China and laugh this shit off as he makes his way to the fucking bank, man. That's literally what's happening here with this fake-ass boycott. You guys are absolute losers. The fact that you think this is going to do anything is a joke. You guys don't know how to boycott, just like you don't know how to meme. It's such a fucking joke. So, again, at the end of the day, man, I'm not a Genshin Impact player, but if I was, man, I would be literally using this every single day to make these people lose their minds on Twitter. But I hope that the ones who are playing Genshin Impact in every other game that Hoyoverse makes, I hope they're enjoying themselves because the numbers clearly show that they are. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.